What is going on, YouTube? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards here for a world famous impromptu live stream. Yes, indeed. Had a little bit of time again this evening. Was recording tomorrow morning's video. Got done a little faster than I thought I would. So I figured let's hop on and see what everyone is up to. For those watching this in the future times, this is a live stream Q&A. I have no particular topic to discuss, nothing special, just wherever chat takes us and whatever rant or rave I may end up on is where this show will go. So, chat, what is going on? Let's chat, get some questions in real quick. Good evening, everybody. My Cleveland Cavaliers are getting their butt kicked by the Heat right now. I am full of Thin Mints, and I am ready to rock and roll. Yes, Scott, I do not plan these. They just pop up. I post them with usually a 5 or 10 minute warning and just kind of let them rip and see where it goes. So I'll probably go for about 30 minutes. I always say that, and I usually end up going for an hour. So we'll see what happens. Let's start working through chat. If I fall behind on questions, I am sorry, but we will see what happens. How do I feel about Kawhi BGS 9.5? I am not the biggest fan of Leonard. The Clippers, as I famously say, are going to Clipper. And that concerns me a little bit for them. Should I hold my football until the playoffs because the QBs I'm staffing will definitely be there? No. You should sell all your football in August, in my personal opinion. Go look at the videos that I did right after the NFL season ended, and you will find a ton of data that suggests that pretty much almost all football players go down during the season, quarterbacks included. You can make some gut calls right before the season starts, but I will be looking to offload pretty much all my football right before the season starts. We need more rants. We could always use a good rant. I don't have anything particular that I'd like to rant on right now, but if someone throws something at me, I'm sure I could get pretty ranty pretty easily. Please speak on Marvel, and if you see it going back up or down, where do we see Marvel cards 1 year from now? Best case scenario, worst case scenario. I think Marvel is basically leveling off. This is 100% expected. Anyone that thought that it was still going to be insanely priced just doesn't understand how the markets work. Let me pull up PSA 10 prices real quick. And I'm specifically talking 90 Marvel Universe here. Let me pull this over to the main screen. So here's 90 PSA 10s. I mean, Wolverine for $570. That's a patch. What else do we have here in a PSA 10? Spider-Man Presents for $600. Spider-Man Classic Suit for $2,500. I mean, I don't know what else you guys want. These prices are pretty good. Most Valuable Covers for $650. Stan Lee PSA 10 for $2,000. Invisible Woman for $200, which is fine. She's not a main character. $500 for an MVC, $1,200 for Wolverine. I think this is what it is. They'll probably continue to come down as more and more supply hits the market. But they could still, there's going to be fluctuations in them, but I would expect them to continue leveling off. All the value is going to be tied to PSA 10s. PSA 9s, unless it's Stan Lee, kind of resell for crap. It's all going to be about the PSA 10. So don't send them in unless you're confident in your grading abilities. Anthony Simons, he's had his chances and he has not grabbed the bull by the horns. I am not a believer. There are better places to spend your money. Rank your 3 favorite Girl Scout cookies. Really all 3 would be Thin Mints, but Thin Mint, Tag Along, and the shortbread ones are probably my top 3. But in all honesty, it would be Thin Mint, Thin Mint, Thin Mint. I can care less about the Easter egg cards. I'm not a hockey guy. Hit the notification bell, hit the like button, subscribe, all the shenanigans. Thoughts on Select going retail? I'll be curious to see how they disperse the different parallels. There's rumors that there's a new parallel. So I'm wondering if court sides and field levels are not going to be in retail. There's a club level, I think it's called. I saw it floating around somewhere. I cannot remember. So we're just going to have to see on how much is out there. I mean, like Optic's a retail product and the population counts on those aren't super high, but it's definitely going to drive them up. If anything, Select going retail, I think helps older Select. Select's been gaining ground to begin with. So I don't know if this puts it over the hump, but I don't think it can hurt past Select. Brandon Ingram's a future star, overshadowed by Zion, though. Brandon Ingram's okay. There is no reason to sell NFL right now. Absolutely none. I would hold all NFL regardless. I can't think of a single player I'd want to sell like right now. Unless like you want a quick flip to Deshaun Watson if he gets traded or something like that, then I get it. But in general, I would hold all football until July or August. Football already dipped. It dipped in December, right after the NFL season ended, and about a week after each team got eliminated from the playoffs. It dipped for a hot second, and that's it. And then it's just slowly ticking back up again. I mean, I made a whole Donruss 21 being 1K a box. I made an entire video ranting about that about a month ago when the pre-order prices came up. It's ridiculous. Ziggy, no, what is going on, buddy? Good to see you back making content again. If I had to bet, I would bet the Bucks making it further than the Clippers in the NBA playoffs. If I score Optic Retail, I would hold it for until Optic Retail leaves stores. Wait about a month after that, and then probably sell it. You could also hold it long term if you want to. That is a perfectly viable play. But I typically of the belief that I would rather have the money. It just depends on your situation. There's not enough money to buy everything. So if I can hold the Optic Retail for a month past it leaves stores, usually the prices shoot way up on it. Then I can sell it. Then I could take that money and put it into something else. It is perfectly viable to just sit on it. I don't want to say forever, but until a later point in life. What do I think of high mid-level players like Mike Conley? They're just not investable, in my opinion. Especially older guys like that, like very specific example of Mike Conley. He has no flash. He's on the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell barely gets respect on that team. So to think Mike Conley is going to is quite the stretch. Thank you very much, Greg. Seller hold KD. People are going to sound like I'm crazy, and I mentioned this in the video the other day. It depends. So, how much profit have you made on KD? How many of them do you have? Did you follow the Neo axiom and buy multiple so you could sell some off and mitigate your risk? I'm of the belief to sell KD in the next week or two. He's still hurt. This hamstring injury is going on way longer than it should be. We literally just saw this exact same pattern play itself out with Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron, who are arguably better players than KD. Their prices shot up, and then they pulled back and leveled off. LeBron Topps Chrome's down to 30K right now for a PSA 10. It was at 45K for a hot minute. I think KD is going to follow the same pattern. He's getting pumped right now hard. He was the talk of the Dallas show. Sasha T is all over him. A lot of big time people are all over him. The cards are going to go up. And if it was me personally, I would mitigate some risk and sell some off. Could it blow up in your face if he's the NBA Finals MVP? Sure. but you never go broke taking a profit, as I like to say, which I stole from the Card Talk pod. Thin mints times 3 is always the correct answer. Some vintage football feels cheap. Some has gone up. The vintage surges are weird. There's no real rhyme or reason for it. You just got to kind of read the room when things start to kind of shift that way. I believe 26 optic basketball will be through the roof. I'm not a big believer in the whole first year set stuff unless it's Prism. But I mean, I guess it could. It's kind of an ugly designed card. 16. That's the biggest thing that holds it back, in my opinion. Trey Young, I'm really torn on Trey Young. I was a big believer in him, and then I don't really I feel like he has an attitude problem, and I don't know that he has like the mental fortitude to take his team deep into the playoffs. We'll see. But if you wanted to buy Trey Young, I mean, they're pretty low right now. Any thoughts on buying second year cards of a player? Is there any real value there like there was during the bubble? I personally try to stay away from second year cards unless it's like a parallel, like Prism Silver or something like that. I've showed this on stream before. I don't know how well you'll see this because I have the camera kind of small. Like I have this Luca Mosaic PSA 10. I pack pulled this myself. So I didn't go out and buy this, but I really like Luca, so I'm holding on to this. I just think it's a sexy looking card. And like I have a silver Trey Young Prism at PSA right now from his second year, and a second year MPJ silver Prism at PSA right now. But I would probably sell them. The second year stuff's really playing with fire, in my opinion. I mean, Dibs is kind of already doing that, Ziggy. That's kind of what Dibs' whole point is. I'm just not an NFT guy. Did you see Prism Black, Prism, and Chronicles Football? I have not seen that yet. I heard $2,500 Prism. Why would people pay that? I'm hearing the same. I'm going to do a video on that, but I'm waiting for confirmed prices before I make that rant video. I mean, Panini is going to keep pushing the envelope until people don't pay it, but they're not, because breakers are going to pay it because they know that they could get people to fill breaks at cheaper price points. So I absolutely do not think it's worth it. I haven't ripped wax in 6 to 8 months. Well, I take that back. I bought that one box of Hoops Hobby Hybrid for a Christmas treat that I ripped on channel. But in all honesty, I don't think ripping wax makes any sense. If you're taking this from an investing standpoint, if you're just looking to have some fun, you do you, but you're just literally going to a casino. And I mean, LaMelo's playing really good. Don't get me wrong. Like I was pretty wrong about LaMelo Ball, but I don't know that he's like Luka level or even Zion or Ja level player. Anthony Edwards looks pretty good, but like I don't know that he's your next generational superstar level player yet. So I still think this draft class overall is pretty weak. So it just seems like a lot to chase a very small pool of players. Acetate cards are weird. They're tough grades. Some people really like them. Some people hate them. They're tricky. Thank you, Hobby Champs. Joe Burrow buy low. I mean, I think you already missed the buy low window, to be quite honest with you. Like if you wanted to buy low on Burrow, I feel like if I ran a Burrow chart, it's hard because this stuff's just still kind of coming out. But I feel like you already missed your window to buy low on Burrow. I mean, you could still buy him because he's probably still only going to go up. The only problem is if any negative news comes out about his knee recovery, then you're toast. Personally, there's other quarterbacks I would rather put money into than Burrow. That's just me personally. 2K investment in AD Prism Rookie PSA 10 or select Rookie Auto Patch PSA 10. If you're looking to quick flip it, the Prism, because it'll be easier to move. If you're looking to hold long term, probably the Auto Patch. I've seen some custom art stuff before. Some of that stuff looks pretty cool. Are you the guy that I DM'd me on Instagram? CSG or HGA? Boy, that's a loaded question. I trust CSG more due to the parent company and the people there. I think CSG has the ugliest slab in the market, and I don't know that I would want to send them anything I wasn't going to immediately sell. I am very intrigued by HGA's look. I would like to get one in hand. But I am extremely skeptical of the unknown of HGA behind the scenes and their mystical AI. So that's my loose thoughts on them. 1920 Basketball Chronicles. To me, the only thing worth buying out of Chronicles is the Ja Luminance. I don't know. So the new tax law, I don't know that we know that SS and ComC are immune. We don't know yet. There's been no clarity on whether StarStock or ComC would need to issue you a 1099. What baseball players am I picking up? I am mostly looking to sell baseball. I already picked up the players that I wanted to pick up, so I am in sell mode when it comes to baseball. My favorite undervalued guy probably right now is Eloy Jimenez. Sam Winterthrow, I could not disagree more. Which Marvel card do I feel people are sleeping on the most? Probably anything Marvel Masterpieces. Will 2012 Select hit 2012 Prism prices eventually? No. Because the thing about the older Prism stuff are it's not like modern Prism where there's tons of them. The population counts on 2012 Prism are super low. I'm not a Pokemon guy. I know nothing about it. I mean, like, I know enough about it to like carry a very loose conversation, but I was never a Pokemon guy growing up. I was always Magic the Gathering. Give me just a minute, Alex. I just don't want to fall too far behind on questions. I have not. Yetzer asks, when do you think you'll start to sell off your comic book investments? I'm not sure yet. That's a tricky one. I was talking to my wife today at dinner, and I said, "Remember that New Mutants '98 I bought for $1,200 a couple weeks ago? Yeah, it's like $3,000 now." And she went, "What?" So, um, I don't know. I was viewing comic books as a long-term diversification to kind of stick my money there and forget about it because I believe in the comic book market long-term more than I do sports cards, at least given the books that I'm specifically putting money into. So I was not viewing the comic book market as quick flip. That being said, if things reach certain prices, I will sell, but I do not have a specific plan, if you will. Zion and Luka will win chips before any other rookie class from 17 to present. I would include Tatum in that list potentially. I don't really know that Zion's going to win a chip. That's more about the Pelicans than him. Uh, Kalamazoo, the origins of the channel are basketball. That is my primary shtick, if you will. I do touch on NFL. I do touch on baseball. I do touch on non-sports cards, and I have been digging deeper and deeper into the comic book rabbit hole as days go by. If you had an optic Herbert Hollow but with a dimple and double printed, would you sell now or hold July? I would. There's no reason to sell football right now. I have not ventured in the boxing cards. What's up, Merlin? I will have to check out Macari for comics. I always forget about that they exist. I do notice that Express is just sitting at PSA with no movement because I have an Express order there right now. CSG does not grade Marvel. I do not know what SGA is for grading company, so I'm going to say no. Thoughts on Tua? Eh. I'm not like super sold on him. I am not familiar with the Garbage Pail Kids market beyond the super old stuff. That comes down to one of those, there's better places I would rather put my money. Like, would I rather buy Garbage Pail, like semi-modern Garbage Pail Kids, or a comic book, a CGC 9.8? As a rule, higher pop rookies or low numbered inserts. It depends on, like, when you say low number inserts, are we talking downtown and kabooms? Then yes. If you're just talking like my houses and stuff like that, I would go with the rookie. Joe, PSA could be overrated all they want. They are the most respected in the market, and that is all that matters. When do you think the Marvel cards are going to fully pay off? Basically, what level PSA should I buy? When do you think Marvel cards are going to pay off? Basically, what level PSA should I buy? I'm not quite understanding the question there, Fred. What is up, Boombox Break 30? Falling a little bit behind on questions. Do I think the pandemic will affect cards for this time in the long run? I really don't know. That's a tough question. 84 star Jordan versus 86 Fleer. I mean, 86 Fleer, that's not even like a question. Do high-end LeBron cards still have growth? Absolutely. I mean, LeBron Topps Chrome is this generation's 86 Jordan, in my opinion. Never really correlated Olympics in regards to trading cards. I don't dip into that realm. Do you have any knowledge on Yu-Gi-Oh cards? I do not. A lot of people have been talking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but it just doesn't have the base that Pokemon does. Am I going to buy 80s keys like Daredevil 168 or She-Hulk 9.8? I am looking at 80s keys, but I am looking more at X-Men stuff just because that's my jam. I'm not a big Daredevil or She-Hulk fan. I get why those are very investable books, but I am sticking with stuff that I like. So, for example, I picked up the ASM 252, which I showed on channel last time, I think. I haven't really had like an official... I have one more book coming in the mail, and then I'm going to do like a comic book mail day. But when it comes to 80s keys, as of right now, I have them sitting right here, actually. Like, I have the ASM 252, which is 84. Population 1,300. And then I have the Secret Wars 8. There's about 3,000 of these, I think. That's an 84 one as well. I did. So maybe I was going to save this for a special video. I had another book come in the mail today that I'm super excited for. I don't know if I'll show it on stream or not. It just came today, but I may save it for a separate mail day video. I have one other thing coming in the mail that should be here on Friday, so maybe that'll be a Saturday morning video. We were to respect pre-80s comics after you gather. Maybe Dr. Doom. I would like to, but those get real expensive real fast. Smash that like button, Ziggy. Do you follow basketball? College basketball, and who are you keeping an eye on? I do not. I am terrible about following college basketball. That being said, I take the NCAA tournament weekend off, and hunker down and watch March. I love March Madness, even though I know little to no players. I know like Jalen Suggs and Cade Cunningham because the Cavs are going to be a lottery team. Marvel only, Dustin. That's right. I'm a big Marvel guy. I would consider like Batman Adventures number 12, like for investment grade stuff. But in general, I stay away from DC. I'm just not a DC guy. I mean, I realize how hard it is to get PSA 10s and MU90, having ripped the box. I would take these 80s and 90s comics, sell during the crazy boom, and put it towards a grail like those X-Men 1, FF5, etc. I mean, that's probably a smart play, but do you think high-end LeBron? I already, yep, answered that already. Thoughts on Jaylen Brown? I like Jaylen Brown quite a lot. I haven't looked at his charts lately, depending on what his prices are looking at. I wouldn't hesitate to buy into him as long as the trends are in the right direction. Thoughts on fake Luka? Meh. Your March Madness Final Four. I have not filled out my bracket yet. That is tomorrow's project. Thoughts on CSG becoming a player with time? I don't think so. Their slab is just too ugly. I don't see them going any higher than 3. I honestly believe the New World Order, once HGA can actually scale and they can get out of their own way, I think it's going to be PSA 1, HGA 2, BGS 3, and then a fight between SGC and CSG for 3, or for 4 rather. HGA is just getting a ton of pump, and the market really seems to like their look regardless of the unknown of the back end of HGA, if that makes sense. Would you send an 07 08 LeBron Exquisite to PSA for next day grading for 1K? Maybe. That card is well out of anything I've ever dealt with. Dark Horse undervalued. Venom comic. Ja is undervalued right now, right? I do believe in buying Ja right now. I will buy the dip on Ja all day long. 77 Star Wars seems like a good buy. Such a following. I agree. Them 9.8s are hard to come by. Hologram PSA 10s are near impossible. They are so hard to find. Probably one of the best value in Marvel cards right now. If I had to like put my foot down on something, it's PSA 9s of the holograms, because you can get your hands on those and they feel like people don't realize how hard those are to get. What do you think of guys like Gary Vee or Sports Card Investor pumping players, good or bad? I mean, Steve Young, people can say that I pump. I really don't pump players. I try not to as much as humanly possible. But sometimes it just kind of comes across that way no matter what. I have no issues with Gary Vee. I have no issues with SCI. I mean, I was literally a guest on SCI's show. So I'm not going to say anything bad about Jeff. He genuinely seems like a pretty nice guy in the, 30 minutes I was with him on the show and the 30 minutes prior to the show that we chatted. It is what it is. Whether Gary Vee intentionally pumps or doesn't pump, I don't really know. I just don't see how a guy with that much money benefits that much from a Devin Booker PSA 10 going up a couple $100. Same with Jeff at SCI. Jeff, I think, is more concerned about promoting market movers than he is any particular player, to be, in my opinion. I did see the Top Sports Illustrated thing. I'm slightly intrigued, but it feels kind of has like the taint of Topps Project 2020 on it. My Australian people, what is going on? I love the Aussies checking in. Tell me what you want me to... I don't know what 5Fs mean. Do you see Hall of Fame cards still going up as we get closer to Ceremony of May? I am not a believer in Hall of Fame bumps or award bumps, unless they come completely out of nowhere. What do I think of 87 Comic Image Marvel cards? I believe most people don't know that they exist. That being said, I recorded a video for this. I did not post it. I did not like the way it turned out. I ripped a box of 89 McFarlane comic images, and these things are ridiculously nice looking. The population count on these is like 7 total. I wish PSA didn't raise their prices. I mean, look at this. How great does that look? I would love to grade these, but I don't want to pay the high-end PSA prices to get them back anytime soon. So I'm probably going to end up sending them bulk, or I'm kind of want to wait for HGA to take Marvel. I mean, these look... I mean, look at this. Look at that. How awesome is that? Cover art from Hulk 310, I think, or 340. I don't remember. These are the quote unquote hits that I pulled out. So there is a video recorded for this. I don't know that it's going to get posted. I didn't realize how many packs were in this box, and it's a very small set. So it's just a billion duplicates. Look at that Black Cat. How good does that freaking Black Cat look? Sorry, I should have made the screen bigger for this. Sorry, I got distracted. Now I'm behind. 252. Yes, love 252. It just depends on his budget, Jackpot. Personally, I'm sticking with CGC 9.8. I do believe Secret Wars 8 is still a little too cheap. It's kind of a weird one because it's like a key issue, but it's not like a key issue because it's not the first appearance of the symbiote, though it's the origin of how he got the symbiote suit. But it is a classic cover, so it's kind of weird, but I still think 800 is a little too cheap for that, where it settled in at. Where are you sending non-star rookie base prisms to grade? PSA value at $25 seems to make the most sense. And wait, I agree. Comics taking over. I freaking love the comic book market right now. ASM 361, first Carnage is key. Plain Cletus DC value in 344. People are going to want the Carnage, not the Cletus. I would like a 361. It's on my list, but I don't know that I'm going to get to it in time. Do you think SGC, in quotes, resurgence in terms of possibly being the go-to for mid-end stuff will raise prices in the market all around? I mean, people are talking about the SGC resurgence in air quotes, but that hasn't actually materialized yet. Until they can prove they could keep up with turnaround times, and I really think they need to change their slab and their label before they get any respect. I wish you could combine SGC and HGA in the one company. Like, give me SGC's pedigree and background, but with HGA's tech and label and case, and I think you'd have a powerhouse. I don't know. I would like SGC to succeed, but their liquidity is so bad on their slabs. I have a Sports Illustrated LeBron from 02. I mean, anything LeBron, I would go PSA. Any knowledge on Michael Jordan, Space Jam, Looney Tunes? I do not have any information on Jordan Looney Tunes cards. You're ugly. Cool, Steve Carl. Cool. Put you at a timeout. How you like that? Never done that before. Everyone should be Marvel. It is the best comic brand by a mile. I agree. HGA needs to scale. I agree. When does 93 SP Chipper Jones start closing the gap with 93? I mean, Chipper's just not on Jeter's level. Why so hard on Sexton? Nearly 4,000 points by 22. I've made a cope on Sexton to a degree. I still question whether or not he's actually like an NBA all-star level player. Yes, he could score, but I still have a lot of questions about him, though he has proven me wrong most of this year. Watch one of your recent videos where you talk about Select Premier. I agree, Premier is good, but getting expensive for me. Do you think Select Concourse is a good buy? Yeah, I don't mind Select Concourse at all. Would I send 12 to 13 National Treasures Anthony Davis for next day grading for 1K? Usually NT and grading is rough. They just do not grade well. So I don't know that it's worth it. Vintage grade for comics, having an X-Men Giant CGC3, for instance. That gets tricky. You got to look at comps. Like a giant size X-Men, to me, it would almost depend more. Like the grading scale gets weird when you get lower. The cover appeal and the color are probably going to be more important than the grade when you get lower like that. Jaylen Brown has knee tendonitis been played. I really like Jaylen Brown. I agree, big boy collectibles. Gary Vee does not dump; he just pumps. They're fine. I think they're a little overpriced, so I don't have any when it comes to the Marvel Donruss inserts. I really do like the Kraven Last Hunt cover where he's holding the black suit over the tomb. Your thoughts on X-Men 4 Omega Red 9.8? I have one. I bought it last year for like $80, $130. I don't remember. He's getting a lot of spec love because he could show up in a movie. Would you grade vintage basketball cards 80s, 90s with HGA or just modern cards? I think I would stick modern with HGA for right now. Do you think Vegas Dave is a degenerate? Yes. Only Sasha T pumps and dumps. I really like Sasha T's channel. I think that guy is ridiculously smart. She-Hulk, yeah, She-Hulk stuff's getting a lot of pump. Thunderbelt for agency signing draft coming up might be a quick bump. Speculate with new Jam movie. Yeah, a lot of people are specking on Space Jam stuff. If CGC 9.8s get too expensive, would you buy a 9.6? Only if it's older. I would not buy 9.6s in anything modern. The only exception to that rule would be maybe ASM 300 and maybe New Mutants 98. Anything in the 2000s, I would go strictly for 9.8s. Because the ratios are so out of whack because there's so many more 9.8s percentage wise. Do you think any of the Marvel cards will surge again? If not, the 90 Marvel Universe, maybe 92 Masterpieces. Other sets, have you seen any love lately? To me, Marvel is all about MU90, PMGs, and some of the Masterpiece stuff. Could they surge again? Absolutely. All it takes is one influencer to jump back on the bandwagon. But let's not forget, guys, a 90 MU, like people keep talking about this, like the 90 Marvel MU market's like a dumpster fire right now. Like I have it up on the screen right here. A 1990 Wolverine PSA 10 sold for $1,200. Like I don't understand what else you guys want. Like they're selling for $1,000 in a PSA 10 90 Marvel Universe card. Like what? I don't understand why people are freaking out that like the market's crashing on MU90 when they're going for a key character is going for $800 to $1,200. Like, relax. Yes, times are crazy in the sports card market. I don't know that any of the grading companies will merge. That'll get weird, but SGC and CSG getting like merging together, or like the two ugliest slabs on the market, like combining together. I don't know what that would produce. Wait until more Marvel inventory hits the market in 10. Still need more comps to hit the market sets value for their cards. I expect good things. I agree, Paul. Next decade, if they do it, which was Spider-Man 2099 is the next take off. He is next into the Spider-Verse. I've heard that as well. I'm just not big into the 2099 stuff. Your take on Topps F1 cards. Rich Sports with great international. I'm just not big into F1, man. How will the late release of Prism Basketball affect the market, if at all? I don't think it will. If anything, it's going to get weird by. I'm more interested in how the late basketball products this year affect releases next year because they're going to feel really scrunched together, potentially. Is the card market bubble about to burst, or is there still a lot of room to, excuse me, I have the hiccups. Let me grab a drink real quick. Or a lot of room to grow? I have no idea. Here's what I'll say about the card and comic book market in general. If you've been in it for, I don't know, more than 6 months to a year, if your ledger, if you will, is not in the black, get it in the black. Get yourself profitable in cards and only use card money to buy more cards or more comics or whatever you're doing. Don't use quote unquote real money anymore. Get to that point as quickly as possible. No one knows if we're in a bubble or not, or if it's going to keep going, if this is just the beginning, just the end, the middle. No one knows. If the whole thing goes tits up tomorrow, be in the position that you don't care because you've already gotten even. And if the whole thing goes belly up, then you went along for the ride. You didn't win anything. You didn't lose anything. That's your worst case scenario. Best case scenario, if you're already at that point where you're in the black, start taking profits and setting them aside. Reinvest 75% back in, hold 25% out. Keep doing that month after month after month. If in a year the whole thing explodes, you got a year's worth of profits, 25% off to the side. Plus, even if the market crashes, the stuff's still going to be worth something. You could sell that off for whatever, but you're not taking a loss. If you are not in that position yet, I challenge you to get there as quickly as possible because no one knows when this merry-go-round is going to stop. And you can apply that logic to cards, comics, pretty much anything that you're putting money into, in my opinion. I got into the black late last year, right before the NBA bubble. And since that point forward, since probably last July, I have not used quote unquote real money to buy cards. And what I mean by that is pulling from checking, savings, etc. I only buy stuff when I sell stuff. I have a separate pool of money from profits from selling stuff. I only use that to buy cards, comics, etc. now. Sorry for the very long-winded answer on that one. You guys wanted that? Well, I don't know if that was a rant. People wanted a rant out of me. That really wasn't ranty. That was probably more soapboxy. Are giant size comic book editions a good investment in general? Yes, if it's giant size number one. If not, not really. Just depends who's in the issue, first appearance, key, whatever. That matters more than anything else. Hear about spec on Marvel characters. It's too late to buy. I agree, Eddie. That is why I am not chasing spec books. I am chasing proven stuff. For Jordan cards, do you recommend buying only graded cards 8 and above? I would recommend only buying graded. Grade, I mean, you do you. Everyone's price point's different. Phil P, KD's the hottest guy on the market, and Sasha is selling. I mean, it's called playing the market. Imagine well thought out Marvel card and shard set featuring every cover, like number one on specific superheroes. Man, that'd be interesting. Bear signed Dalton thoughts. Their Super Bowl odds actually got worse from them signing Dalton. Careful with the LeBron polarizing talk. I do not take politics talk in my chat. I will shadow ban you. Just now returning to collecting and went through my old cards. Is it worth it to send Brady? This was a PSA. If the grade would be around 6 or 7. No, I don't think so. Just sell it raw. PGX 9.8 versus CGC 9.8 comic book rating. If your guys are buying graded comic books, only buy CGC. Looks good. Everything knows yellow spots. I believe it's a print defect. PSA probably would dock for that, but do your research. First time catching you live. Thank you very much. Yeah, PGX, from everything I could tell, is the GMA of comic books. Thoughts on Donruss 2021 baseball. Gorgeous cards, but it's unlicensed. Stay away. Your thoughts on Refractor, Kobe Rookie, BGS 10 Black Label. That feels about right, but like I don't know what feels right in that market. That's so out of my league. I do not follow the UFC at all. Do you think Trevor Lawrence coming will take the hype away from Herbert? Will Herbert prices go down in August? I doubt it. I mean, Lawrence is going to steal hype from everybody, but I don't think it's going to cause Herbert to dip. Did you go to the show this past Sunday in Independence? I did indeed go to the show this past Sunday in Independence. I was there walking around most of the morning. Would you grade KPJ, hold, and try to sell raw? I am selling raw. This big pile I have in front of me right here is all KPJ. I am actively selling. I have 2 packages off to the left of me going out tomorrow. I have some other stuff I'm looking to sell. If anyone is in the KPJ market to buy raw, slide into my DMs, as the kids say, because I have let me make the camera a little bigger. I have a pile of KPJ. Got some Mojos, pink ices, red ices, ruby waves, autos, more autos. What do we got over here? Hyper pink, infinite mojo number to 99. Sexy looking card. Purple shock, blue velocity, orange ice jersey. These are super rare. Purple wave. Got this bad boy back here that's for sale. Nice BGS 10 pop 2. So if anyone wants to buy KPJ, my Instagram stuff's in the description. Feel free to let me know. Dude, where did we leave off at? Oh my goodness. KPJ question. Okay. Buy and rip MU90, far and away enough cards selling for strong value to justify. I agree, Paul, though it gets tricky with the PSA price increases. This was an easier decision before PSA raised prices. You mentioned using my spreadsheet is not shareable. Not that it's some trade secret. It's just so janky that you probably wouldn't understand what I'm doing, and I need to up my game drastically. Most of the stuff I track in Market Movers with the My Collection tool. Thank you very much, John. Thoughts on rookie PSA 9s for NBA? Love PSA 9s. Okay, it is okay to play the market when you are not the one to make KD the hottest guy in the market. Sasha is a market manipulator. There's like a billion market manipulators in this game. So once again, I enjoy Sasha T's content. So I'm not going to throw shade at him. I mean, he did not say to go out and buy KD. He made a video of himself buying KD. So if people are too stupid to make their own decisions, that's not his fault. SGC Tux cases look better than PSA IMO. They look better with certain cards. Not all cards look better in SGC slabs. When do the first products for Trevor Lawrence rookie class come out? We don't know yet because COVID messed everything up. If you started investing today with less than $1,000, what strategy you use? What sport would you focus on today? If I was starting out right now, I would start on Star Stock and learn the ropes. Kevin, for KD to get hyped, he has to get healthy first. If you're buying KP, most of this stuff's not posted on eBay. Why would I sell it on eBay? Just if you are seriously interested in KPJ, just DM me on Instagram. What is? I don't even remember my Instagram off the top of my head. It's in the description to any one of my videos. It's NEO_sportscards, I think. Just shoot me a DM on Instagram if anyone is interested in any KPJ stuff. If you can't see that, might want not to get into the hobby. Has New Mutants 98 9.8 reached its peak? I don't know, but I feel like it's going to level off at 3K for a while. I noticed a lot of people posted stuff for 3.5K, and it's kind of sitting. Auctions are ending at like 2,900. So I feel like 3K is where it's going to hang until the next thing pumps it or moves the needle. Inventory was drying up. Then it hit a certain point. People are selling them or flipping them now. So I think it's going to level off at around 3K for a hot minute. That's my guess. But we're not high on the idea of sending 90 MU for $100 per card to PSA. No, I am not. Not with this, because you're sending it $100 per card and you're not getting them back quick. That's the problem. What's the newest comic that you have bought? Is everything in the 80s and 90s? I just bought an Edge of the Spider-Verse #2. If you watch the video I posted this morning, I talk about it. I don't have it yet. That will be here Friday. That is about as modern as I want to get. Part of that is I think eventually Spider-Gwen comes to the MCU, and I am also a big Spider-Gwen fan. And I think that book's about to jump. I got in for 1,100. It's already spiked to 1,500 since I bought it, and I could easily see Edge of the Spider-Verse being Edge of the Spider-Verse 2 first printing. Be wary on that one. There's 100 different printings of it, and there's a bunch of variant covers. I am strictly talking first printing, main book. Census is about 2,400, give or take. They're going for about 14, 15K right now. I'm sorry, 1,400, 1,500 right now. I got mine a little cheaper than that, but I do think that's heading to 2K. I'm trying to stay away from most modern stuff. Will Leaf Metal Baseball slabbed autographs, pre-production proofs 101 have sold value on their own? I don't think so, because Leaf Baseball just generally doesn't, the market usually just does not care about it. Nice pickup on X-Men 7. I'm just like, I get I understand why people are chasing killing the children. That's just not what I want to do. I would rather buy older, low pop count stuff. Do you think lower grades of keys will rise in value when the supplies of the 9.8 dry up? Sure, but I don't know for sure. That's just like using my same principles that when a PSA 10 goes up, a PSA 9 goes up. See, Serious Player One gets it. Coming back to comics from cards, comics seem awfully cheap. This is what I've been preaching. If you guys didn't watch the video I posted this morning, I go on this rant. When you look at the census counts of comic books, it's absolutely insane. I am not familiar with the Angel Wings card from 2012. I'm not a big Kobe guy. Thank you very much, James, and hello from that's the UK, man. That's UK and Australia checking in today. 3K for New Mutants is ridiculous, is it? We don't know. There's only 3,000 of them. That's not that many. They're trying to trade up their collection and currently selling lesser cards on eBay. No tax ramifications for ComC. We do not know the tax ramifications for ComC. Nobody knows if the new 1099 rules affect ComC and Star Stock. And ComC is such a hot mess. It makes every grading company look good. Wire Design Optic Raw Hollow is cheaper than Herbert. Because Optic Hollow for Herbert just came out like a week ago. It's just a matter that they're brand new. That's solely the reason why. Where can you check the pop count and sales on comics? CGC's website. CGC's website. Easiest thing to do is find one that you're looking at and type in the cert number for it. And then you can pull it up. Sales, I just use 130 point, just like I do for sports cards. I would love an Ultimate Fallout 4, but I think it outpriced me. PSA is probably saving themselves by raising the prices. It was either that or they get more buried, so they had to do something. PSA is not going anywhere as number one dog. I've talked to multiple group submitters, and they said that it hasn't even slowed down that much. Just people are being smarter about what they're sending. I need to sell off my comics with all the money flooding the market. Let me know what you got, Eddie. I might be in the market depending on what you got. There's certain things I am still looking for. Are you excited for the new Prisms? Not really. I'm not planning on buying any of the new Prism for a hot minute. I'm going to wait to see what rookies, where prices shake out before I chase anything from new Prism. Seems 9.8 is our 9.5. Do the variant covers do well over time? I only understand numbered stuff. CGC 9.8 is equivalent to a PSA 10. CGC does not hand out 9.9s and 10s. So a CGC 9.8 is a PSA 10 in my mind. And variant covers get super tricky. That's ultra modern comics, and I am not chasing that stuff. It's artificial scarcity. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Rocco. The old stuff goes crazy. Why is PSA so much better? Because the market says so. It's as simple as that. I agree. That Star Wars #1 is probably a little underrated. Any basketball cards people on a $200 to $300 budget should look to get going in the hobby. I picked up some KPJ Game Around Sexton rookies today for $20. Off the top of my head, I cannot think anything. I haven't looked at anything in the value market. This is a weird time to be buying NBA. Good to know. Thanks for it's a love hate with the new prices for PSA and other grading companies. The good thing. Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Ricardo. Yeah, I'm just looking for slabs, Eddie. I'm not looking to go rata grade. They are pretty nice. CGC cases are pretty nice. Oh my goodness, I caught up with chat. It took me an hour. It took me 1 hour, 1 minute, and 51 seconds. I'm not big on Kawhi. Yes, he probably is undervalued. I'm just not big on the Clippers because Clippers going to Clipper. Conley won't get respect. The Jazz barely get respect. That might be the case, but CBCS doesn't get a lot of market love. It's CGC or bust, pretty much. Do you see CSG or HGA gaining any traction as second to PSA? Yeah, HGA needs the scale before they can gain traction on PSA. CSG, the slab's too ugly, in my opinion. 2000 Brady Chrome 03 tops LeBron. I mean, you're asking the Cleveland guy to pick between LeBron and Brady. I'm gonna go with LeBron 100 times out of 100. Though I honestly don't think you could go wrong with either one of those two. Uh, so like guys like Dennis Schroeder, Conley, etc., etc. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to put your money in the guys like that, in my opinion. Like that's not where I'm at. That's not what I'm looking to do. I'm not gonna go buy Schroeder or Conley stuff when I could just be spending that money on Luka or Ja or Tatum or LeBron or a graded comic book or whatever. I'm not chasing these fringe spec play NBA players. Those are the guys you get burned on and you get burned hard. So there's so many good options out there. Why chase stuff like that? Star Wars one. Jack, I answered that question already. Because the market said so. That's it. The market wants PSA 10 slabs. It's as simple as that. No one cares about Dennis Schroeder except Lakers fans, and that's a stretch. I think the trade deadline could be a little bit of a dud, honestly. There's not a lot of sellers. I am lukewarm on Oladipo for the same reasons I just listed above. He has not played that well since he got hurt, like over the last year and a half. HG for the bought a lot of. Oof, I would not have paid inflated prices on LaMelo Raw if you're talking about hoops and Don Russ. Probably HGA for the quick flip if you can get in. Sending for PSA, you're probably losing money. There's no reason to buy LaMelo rookies straight after a product comes out. It's not smart at all. Cool. A lot. I got half the league, 3/4 of the league puts up 18 a game. I heard you mention Target and Walmart might stop selling retail. That's the rumors that have been going around. How do normies get product? I mean, you can't get product now, so it's not like it's that much different. Siakam's man, I really liked him, and then he's just fallen off the map for 2 straight years almost now. Do you need to get a Topps authenticated authenticated when getting your card graded? That I don't know. I would assume not. They would automatically just be taken care of. Thoughts on Hoops or Revolution is a cheaper alternative to the big three. Revolution over Hoops 100 times out of 100. Do you see value in the 40 Superman cards? Sure, but it's going to come down to graded and condition. And my problem with the weird stuff like that is how many people know that they exist. I mean, anything that's rumored to be in a movie or a TV show regarding the DC question is 100% in play, just because the market's so twitchy on stuff like that. But I'm once again, my venture into the comic book market is to specifically not chase that stuff. All right, I have caught up with chat, so we are probably going to wrap up here. If you haven't, smash the like button. And unless someone has a last minute question, we are going to go ahead and wrap this up because I went a lot longer than I thought I was going to. But don't get caught up in documentaries. That only mattered when there was nothing else on TV. That's the only reason. I mean, the Jordan doc was excellently done, yes. But the main reason that got as much hype as it did is because we had no actual sports. Paul, go to 130point.com. That's what I have up on the screen behind the screen, if you will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Like button on the way out the door. Subscribe if you are new here. If you haven't, go watch the comic book video that I posted this morning. I think it's a pretty good one, even if you're not in the comic books. So, once again, we will catch you guys on the next one. Tomorrow morning's video, which is already recorded and uploaded and scheduled, is about pop counts, various pop counts between Prism, Select, and Optic, and like doing a deep dive into the different parallels of the 3 main sets and which ones have the lowest PSA 10 pop counts. So that is what is coming tomorrow morning to give you guys a sneak peek. And you guys have a wonderful night. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.